So my official title is Associate Solicitor General of Ontario, focused on auto theft and bail reform. So auto theft and bail reform are part of it, obviously. Our government is, when we talk about protecting Ontario, we're talking about the economy, obviously, but we're also talking about our streets. And we've seen a rise in crime, especially since COVID. And we're laser focused in making sure that our streets are safe, your families are secure, and whenever something happens, justice is served swiftly. So that's, public safety in general is basically my role.
Okay, so that's actually a really good segue into the next question, because I love anecdotes. I love when people can tell the group here about things that surprise you, things that are not pedestrian about your business. So given the audience today, we have lenders here, we have data scientists, we have technology providers. What has surprised you the most about the nature and scale of auto theft and auto fraud in Ontario since you took on this role as czar?
That's a great question. It's the whole sophistication. It's not a one-off thing. I know when I was younger, a lot of auto theft was teenagers finding cars for joyride. It's not that anymore, but it's also not a property crime anymore. We have sophisticated international criminal organizations with very, very sophisticated operations. And I'll give you, if I have a moment, actually, I'll give you a couple examples. So we know that, so imagine if I'm part of the organization, I'm 17, 18, 19 years old. I get a text message one day to go to a certain location. I show up there. There are 4 other people I've never met in my life. We get in 2 cars. We have a list of homes to go to and exactly the cars to pick up. We pick those up. We drive them where we're supposed to drive them, and we go off. We never see each other again. I have no idea who made the list. I have no idea what's going to happen to it afterwards. And so even if I get arrested, I don't know anything. So the whole sophistication of it and also the complexity of it, it's not a crime in itself. The profits from auto theft then go on to fund guns and gangs and drugs and human trafficking and all sort of really nasty stuff. And also the speed at which these guys respond. So when you close one loop, they open up another one. We made it harder to export vehicles. And then we saw a rise in VIN frauds and cloning of VINs and fake VINs. We did a lot of stuff in Ontario to close that. And Alberta is seeing a rise now because they're registering vehicles in Alberta and then bring them back wherever. So just the whole sophistication, which is why we need an approach that, I'll talk about it later on, where all partners work together.
Yeah, and so it's decentralized, which is obviously hard to cut the head off the hydra. So we talk at the CLA, the Canadian Lenders Association, a lot about the fraud tax, right? Which is you have what's going on in the market, and then you have the consequences ripple down to borrowers and lenders and insurers alike, right? And how can the industry work more closely with you? And when I say you, as czar of Ontario, so with the Ontario government to reduce fraud, like what obviously you're thinking in your war room, Mr. Czar, about how to deal with stuff, and so how do we work together across the value chain to do that?
Morgan, can you update my LinkedIn with Czar? We'll go with that. I like it. So, that's an excellent question. Let's talk about fraud tax for a moment. Back in 2023, Equity Association, they calculated that there was $1 billion in write-offs because of auto theft. So we all pay a high insurance premium because of that. We're seeing a rise in not just identity theft, but also VIN fraud. And so on our part, on the government's part, so our level of government, we've done everything we can on the bail reform side of things, because one of the other things that surprised me is how much, and I totally have my back towards you guys. I'm going to sit like this.
It's okay. They've got a screen.
No, screens are overrated. You get to see me 3D.
Yeah.
So one of the things that surprised me is how much repeat offenders were involved. And so we saw cases where people would get arrested. They would get let on bail within 24 hours, and they would go recommit and get arrested and recommit. I know of a story. I met Durham Police as part of my tour over summer, and they had a gang where people were arrested 7 or 8 times. And so this repeat offender thing is a huge problem. And so federal government that controls the criminal code, they have finally brought forward legislation to close that loop, close that gap, strengthen our bail reform a little bit. but the legislation hasn't passed yet. So hopefully it'll pass in spring. It will be implemented. On our end, on Ontario, and you mentioned you have people from technology here. We've actually implemented a real-time bail compliance dashboard that allows police officers to keep an eye on potential repeat offenders. It started with just guns, firearm-related offenses, but we've increased it to IPV and other repeat offenders where if there's a high risk of reoffending, police officers can then keep an eye, police departments can keep an eye on it. And right now, 90% of police forces have access to it. I think my goal was to have 100% by December. We're a little bit behind, but soon we'll have 100% of police services using it. But when it comes to how you can help, so that's one area. But one of the things about our system is, and you all know this already, a lot of our processes are based on good faith, assuming that everyone's acting in good faith, which 99% of people are, obviously. But the processes that used to work 5-6 years ago, they're no longer valid because it used to be that good enough was good enough because everyone's acting in good faith anyway. But we need to actually take a serious look at how we verify identity and make sure people are who they say they are. How we verify vehicle identity. VIN verification is really, really important. And there are companies that have developed tools to catch that. Some of the tools we're using on the dealer side of things that you know about. Some of the ones we're going to potentially start using on Service Ontario and other side. We have partnership happening with Carfax and some other partnerships that haven't been announced yet. But that's where you guys can really help because our goal is to make sure that instead of recovering a stolen vehicle or a vehicle that was part of VIN fraud, we don't allow that to happen in the first place.
Got it. And I'm asking some questions, but I think for this session, it's okay if anyone in the audience wants to ask the minister a question. That's fine by me. So I'm going to continue to ask questions, but you guys can pipe up and I'll give you a mic since they are your constituents. Yeah.
Well, politicians love microphones.
Yeah. So you mentioned a bail related reform, but is there anything else on the enforcement side, bail related or otherwise, that could materially change or affect fraud risk and recovery outcomes in the next little while?
Yeah, so we talked about bail, and that is going to have a meaningful impact. But as I mentioned earlier, these organizations are sophisticated, and every time we close one loophole, they find another one. We at the provincial level, we have roughly 2 justice bills every year. I say roughly because sometimes we do one, but fall justice bill and spring justice bill. So we learn pretty fast and we react pretty fast. In the last bill, we, this key fob devices are used to unlock things. We kind of tackled those because they were really easy to find in eBay and thieves use them. We made it we increased penalties for knowingly provide false VIN number because that was an issue as well. We also tackle identity fraud in a quite heavy way. But there are other work that needs to be done. We have a justice bill that was presented last fall, but it went through one reading. It's going to pass this spring, and we're working on a second justice bill as well. I wish we were doing this a month from now because I would have had a lot more announcements, but I don't want to give anything away. So do follow me. Go to LinkedIn and find Czar, and you'll find me.
Yeah, I mean, but obviously it's an ongoing discussion, and we look forward to staying close, with the minister in this regard. But we're all about collaboration, right? We're an ecosystem play. They're people that generate data, the people that consume data, the people that manipulate that data into results in the room. We're all about data. So from your seat, what specific data or intelligence sharing would really disrupt organized auto fraud, and how can we work with you more fluidly? I mean, we're continually talking to the ministers on a variety of topics in the automotive sector, on RSLA stuff, and we want to get engaged. We want to work with you. How can we work with you better to advance your goals and obviously our goals and the goals of Ontarians?
Yeah, so let me give you one specific anecdote actually, and it's just this is absolutely true. I don't know if any of you have faced this or not, but there was a case where I can't remember the name of the insurance company anymore, but there was a ghost vehicle. So a vehicle that never existed. A VIN was created, the vehicle was registered, loan was given, that vehicle got into an accident with another vehicle that never existed. So 2 ghost vehicles got into an accident. Obviously, there were storage fees, there were body shop fees, a lot of work got done, insurance premiums got given out, and then both vehicles got stolen a few weeks later. But they never existed. So we do need to do a much better job in data sharing. And just so I'm clear, like I'm not talking about a wide, phishing campaign, but on a targeted way, we do need to figure out what is the minimum required to share across lenders and insurance companies and governments and everyone else to make sure that we maintain the integrity in the system. Because honestly, the consumer confidence and also business confidence is coming down, and we need to restore that. One of the things we've had, and it's a better news. I don't call it good news just yet because we're not where we want to be, but it's a better news, which is we've seen a pretty significant reduction in auto theft. So numbers have come down quite a bit in 2024. They were down about 17 or 18%, depending on how you calculate it. They came down another, and we don't have official numbers for 2025 yet, but I suspect you'll probably see another 30% reduction in 25. However, and I want to be clear, these numbers are coming down from a very elevated number. So we're not quite where we want to be, and we have to not take our foot off the gas. In fact, as I said, as these criminal organizations adapt, we have to adapt even faster. And data sharing is a very, very, very important part of it. Because when we talked about identity theft of individuals as well as of vehicles, you can only do that much without help from us, and we can only do that much without help from you guys. And my goal is to stop fraud from happening, as opposed to allow it to happen and then try to figure out how to catch it.
Got it. So we talked about the fact that there are tons of solutions in this room, tons of smart people across the ecosystem. Tal and I just sold a company today to Trust Science, which is all about fraud defense systems for the ecosystem, and so we're very excited and motivated, to work with the government in any shape or form. How do we do that? Like, do we set up a meeting with you? Do we brainstorm? Can I bring, leaders from various sectors to the table? Would that help you? Like, oh, sorry, I heard my name. Yeah, go ahead.
I did too, actually. So Morgan from my office will probably hate me for doing this, but my first name, Zee.Hamid, Hamid, @ontario.ca. So email me anytime. I do want to learn from you because there are areas where you're truly the experts and you see things that I don't. And this is absolutely true. This has been true, and I come from a technology background, but this has been true on every level, especially around...
Just speak to that a second. What's your background?
I actually have a Bachelor of Mathematics and Computer Science. I don't know what I'm doing here
Nice.
from Waterloo. So I went to Waterloo, got comp sci math degrees from there, and then I went to work for Microsoft, Amazon, DoorDash, had some startups of my own, and an opportunity presented itself, and I'm here now.
Hell, you're like one of the room, man.
We're basically same people.
Yeah, this is nice. So I'm going to take you up on that, and let's work out who in the room we can identify, to work closer with you, given your background. Oh my God, it's
so I love technology and process solutions. If there's a technology solution that can solve a problem, or if there's process we can put in to solve the problem, I absolutely love it because honestly, there are things we've done, the problems we've solved because of good effort, but good intentions are not systems, right? We need to put systems in place that prevent bad actors from taking advantage of lenders, of insurance companies, of consumers, of everyone.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Any questions from the floor? Any questions from?
I've got a question more volunteer. I'm from the UK. We have a number of data sharing. Obviously, insurance companies are already ahead in that space. But we also work in technology. We'd love to work with you and help solve some of this.
Great.
I would love to learn more from you. Our privacy laws are a lot. I don't know UK laws at all, but I've talked to my US counterparts, and our privacy laws are quite a bit stricter than what they have in the US. So we do have to work around them, which is why I said targeted data sharing that's meaningful and that has a purpose. That will certainly help. But I would love to chat with you. So if you send me an email, we'll set up some time and talk for sure.
Yeah.
And sorry, what was your name?
Jackie Barker.
All right. I'm going to keep an eye out for your emails. So.
But remember, everybody in this room works in Ontario. Everybody in this room knows about how to navigate consumer privacy, and so that won't be a surprise. But everyone in this room has a passion and a mandate to solve for this. So unless anybody else wants to pipe up with some intelligent question, I think we're going to let you get back to work. And
Well, that sounds
thank
good.
you.
And I actually haven't asked. I wasn't going to do this. I just thought of it right now. And I'm a provincial politician, so I have to take a jab at federal government every opportunity. It's part
Damn
of my
right.
job requirement. When it comes to anti-theft immobilizers and anti-theft things that go in the car, and your comment about UK reminded me because UK updated their standards last February. EU updated them in 2021. UK did another update. Our standards, Canadian standards, were first published in 2005. That was more than 20 years ago. They came into effect in 2007. We can't go 20 years without updating them.
Yeah.
Right now, you can literally go in and buy stuff on eBay for $40 that will unlock any car outside. So we as a country need to do better. And if you can just ask the federal government to update these standards, not just one time, but make sure we update them every 5 years as technology changes, because technology is changing rapidly, and we can no longer have these standards that were written before keyless entry was even a thing. And we don't even have to reinvent the wheel. All we have to do is copy and paste from UK or EU and say, Toyota and Honda and Volkswagen and everyone else, you're selling the vehicles there. We want the same technology here.
Nice. Well, that'll be part of our shopping list. So thank you so much. I appreciate it. And thank you for joining us.
Yeah,
That was great. Thank you. Okay.